Hi everyone, I am Ikra, LinkedIn Valley facilitator at Rani School Karangi campus. As you guys know, I do interviews on daily basis and invited an amazing and special guest on my podcast and she was also. And today I have another wonderful and amazing guest. Her name is Elise Drawing. So today we will talk to her and talk about her life journey. So hi ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm fantastic and I'm thankful to you that you joined me. Okay, so can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Elise Warren, as you said. I am a special education teacher, but I'm no longer in the classroom. I own a company called Elevated Learning Solutions, which is an educational support company here in the U.S. In the Washington D.C. area, um, and we provide academic tutoring, but we're very holistic. We incorporate um, wellness and social emotional well-being and self-awareness and mindfulness and executive functioning into everything we do. We also provide other services like testing and advocacy. I personally work with students one-on-one for coaching, and I work with parents to help them understand how to support their own children. And I've done trainings in schools also. But I special education is my love, and wellness is my love, and I put the two together.
Oh, great, like you are a teacher also. So can you explain me that what how should be a great and best teacher?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the best teachers are those that see each individual student as who they are, like see the individuality of each child and does their best to address each child's specific needs, instead of trying to just pigeonhole them or make assumptions about them. Someone who is constantly open to learning more and who knows that they're never going to know everything, right? So there's always more to learn. There's always ways to improve, and who approaches their job with love and care and not just going through the motions. Someone who truly loves doing what they're doing.
Oh, great. And yes, when someone loves their job, so maybe a lot of people they don't love their job and they are teachers, so it is not good. It's my perception. So my next question is related to that how much time it takes to be a teacher.
I would assume that that varies, right, based on country. Um, Here, um, I mean, there are different tracks, right? So for me, I did a 4-year undergrad in special education and general ed, and I was able to start teaching from that, and then worked on my master's while I was teaching. Some people go through the whole educational journey, and do a bachelor's and a master's, and then sometimes even a doctorate before they get started. We also have an option here that's kind of like a fast track, where if you already have a bachelor's, you can do a 3-year fast track at certain universities, and they kind of cram it all in there, and then help you get a job after. Um, so and then in early childhood, I think it's even less education is needed for early childhood. But I think that that's, I mean, I would say that that definitely varies. It even varies by state here. So it certainly must vary by country. But you're never done learning, right? I mean, I've been teaching for 25 plus years and I'm still learning new things all the time.
Oh, great. So I have another question like how much you believe in self-learning and physically learning. Like a lots of people just read the subject and without understanding it. So how much you believe that practical learning is very important?
Oh, absolutely. I think that everybody's brain works differently. But there's so some people are more learn information better visually or auditorily, but I don't think there's anything that can replace actual practical learning, because you can understand something on paper, but then putting it into practice is a whole new thing. So there's nothing better than actually practicing what you've learned and being able to reflect on that and improve as you go. And then as far as like self-taught, I think in order to be able to be self-taught, I think in anything you have to be able to know yourself, right? And also be open to criticism and be open to feedback, because if you're just teaching yourself, then you're not learning necessarily from others alone. And part of being in an institution, learning from an institution or learning from others, is that regular feedback, right? You get people that tell you, no, I know you think you did a great job, but maybe you need to fix this, that, or the other. When you learn on your own, you have to be comfortable going into other people and saying, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think I did this okay? And you have to be hungry, like really hungry. You can't just go through the motions when you're teaching yourself. You have to really like be hungry for that knowledge, because you've got to be able to find it, and constantly push yourself. They're very different experiences.
All right, absolutely right. Okay, like I belongs to the school. I already told you that I'm Shabrihani school, and in this school there is no books, no copies. The student just have a laptops and mobiles, and we learn all the practical things. Like we learn graphic designing skills, video editing skills, and coding skills, and that's kind. This all kinds of skill we learn here. And in I have completed my 1 year here, and I have done my interviews here, and also I make my own Facebook, my own Twitter, my own Instagram, and these all things I created by myself. So I believe that practical learning is very important.
Yeah.
And just because in Pakistan there's a lots of school, like I spent my 15 years in school, and I just learn it. I couldn't be able to do something with this degree, but in this 1 year, I achieved a lots of things. So I believe in practical thing. So can you give three advices to these kinds of schools who is not believe in practical learning?
Oh, that's a really that's like a loaded question, because I mean, you're asking me to change somebody's mindset.
No, no, like you just give advices to those who are not believing in practical learning.
So when you say, it sounds like based on your example, and congratulations on everything you've accomplished, by the way, it's admirable. Um,
Okay,
when
thank
you
you.
described your classroom, it sounds to me like you are describing inquiry-based learning, which is that's what we call it here. Is that what you're
Yes,
referring to? Okay.
yes.
Yeah. So I think that if you've never been trained in inquiry-based learning and you've only been trained to lead a classroom, switching to an inquiry-based model can be scary, because it's almost like you're letting the reins go. You're letting the kids take the lead, and that's a big unknown. But you never know how amazing that can be until you give your kids the chance to do it, right? So, I mean, kids are naturally inquisitive. They want to learn, they want to succeed. And the more constraints you put on them, the more you start to kind of like put out their fire. And so, yeah, giving kids, give them guidelines, right? Here's the general topic, or here's the general area, or here's the general goal. And you might say, here are the pieces that I expect of you in your final product. Go, right? And as long as they, that gives them so much freedom to kind of like figure stuff out. And then if you see they're getting stuck, you step in. But you'd be amazed, what kids can do on their own when given that freedom. It is beautiful to see when it can happen, but it's scary to make that change. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think it's great. Okay, so I have just 4 minutes left in my interview. So, can you please tell me who is your favorite three personalities?
My favorite what?
Personalities.
Like what do you mean by personalities?
Like your favorite personalities, like who inspire you most?
Oh. Hmm. Oh, mine are weird. So my mom, which is going to sound so cliche, but my mom was a speech and language pathologist, and she was my at-home executive functioning coach. And she was like the CEO of our household, and I just always admired everything that she was able to do. I wanted to be my mom when I was little, and I think that she's the one that really like set me on this path unintentionally to like become an educator. And she's the one that set me on the path knowingly to become a special educator. She really pushed me in that direction, knowing that I would love it. And the other one is strange, because it's someone that no one would really know. Her name is Georgina Hyde, and she is a Holocaust survivor. And she became the superintendent of my school district growing up. And I've learned about her like in some fluke, and I chose to interview her for a project in high school, and I was just so blown away by everything she was able to accomplish. And I try to always keep her in mind when I'm up against something difficult. And then I would say, and you were probably looking for educators, like, I mean, I'd say on the daily are my closest friends, because I surround myself purposely with people that I admire, and that, uphold the kind of humanity that I want to model to my students, my peers, my children, my family. And so, yeah, those are the people that I kind of like look to.
Great, great. I love also my mom, and yes, my mother also inspires me. That's great. And a lots of people said that their mothers and fathers inspire her or him. Okay, so I have a last question to you, that can you give a last advice to me and to my viewers also?
Yeah. So that's a very open-ended question. I would say, as an educator, and I don't know if your audience is mostly educators or other providers or not, or either parents. But I would say anyone who cares for little humans coming up in the world, the absolute best thing you can do for them is help them tune into their bodies, help them tune into themselves to understand why they feel a certain way and what that means and where it's coming from, and why they reacted a certain way and what that means and where it's coming from, and how everything they do affects them. Because the best you can the best way you can be successful in life is to be self-aware. Because if you can understand yourself and love yourself, you can learn to understand others and learn and love others. And also, if the more you understand yourself, the more successful you can be when you come up against things that are difficult. Right? And that's what we want. We want resilient kids and resilient.
Yes, great. You gave a great advice. Like, my lots of people are belongs to educator. I haven't a lots of followers, and he's belongs to also schools, and their principals also, and they have their own school. So yes, he loves this advice so much, and I love it also. Okay, so ma'am, can you thank you so much for giving me your precious time, and I'm so much thankful to you that you are agreed to do interview with me, and thank you so much for your kind words. And my interview time is ended now, so thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Akra.